Formerly known as Konkola North, Lubambe is a large-scale underground copper mine in Zambia's Copperbelt province, situated near the town of Lubambe. The mine is in a region that hosts world-class deposits sitting on a lease area of 228 square kilometers, part of which is underexplored. The existing mine was constructed in 2010 with the first concentrate sales in October 2012.
EMR Capital became the 80% shareholder of Lubambe in December 2017, so it's only 1.5 years ago, and at that time the mine was producing about 18,000 tonnes a year of copper, and the safety performance was reasonable but wasn't to our expectations. So we've got a plan within a 3-year period to lift the production from that 18,000 tonnes to over 40,000 tonnes a year and to improve our safety record. So our values, which are really our personal commitments, our first one and our most important one is that nothing's more important than safety. And that's our key driver of everything we do. We have to be safe. Between contractors and employees, we've got 2,400 people working for us on the mine at any one time. And for me, I want to know that they're safe. I expect everyone that comes to work in a safe and healthy way, they need to go home in a safe and healthy way. And really, that's the prime thing for me. I mean, there's no point making money if we're not safe. There's no point in having huge production if we're not safe. And it's a very strong commitment from me.
To get anything done and achieved, there must be management commitment and management support. So we are privileged at Lubambe that the senior and top management have put a big premium on safety. And in our safety policy, we've said that nothing is more important than safety. We must achieve and do everything safely.
So our vision, which has been put together by all the management team and input from the workforce, is to make Lubambe the best mine in Zambia. So we have developed a new health and safety policy over the last 12 months, and it was rolled out in late 2018. And that's really a combination of commitments from management and the owners to introduce new equipment, new processes, new systems, all to help us be safe, but also to give the workforce more training, more development, and to help them be safe. But we equally require a commitment back from them to be safe.
We insist on every employee that is coming to Lubambe, the first thing that it does is induction. The purpose of induction or training is to change the mindset of a person to the conditions prevailing in the mines. We now introduce that person to systems and procedures and also ensure compliance.
Fire is a major underground risk and our biggest safety consideration here at Lubambe. All vehicles that go underground are fitted with automatic fire suppression systems to be triggered by the operator if he notices fire. In the event of fire, all personnel on site know our fire evacuation procedure, which is 1. Do not panic. 2. Put on your self-rescuer. 3. Evacuate to a safer place and await rescue. We have 5 emergency refuge chambers located near active underground work areas. The inside environment provides communication systems and oxygen supply.
We have what's called a safety management plan, and the safety management plan sets out a lot of the standards, a lot of the procedures, of how we do certain things.
We have identified high-risk activities at the mine that could lead to a serious incident, such as working at heights.
So we make sure everybody wears harnesses and that man cages are inspected and maintained by a trained person.
One of our standards is on isolation, so if we want to work on a conveyor belt, for example, we need to make sure that the machine is properly isolated and there is no risk to people before they can start doing that work. And so the safety management plan captures all that information, and then we train the workforce in the application of that safety management plan.
And thereafter, we consider provision of personal protective equipment. So personal protective equipment is given as a last resort to reduce the risk or the likelihood that an accident or incident will happen.
Lubambe keeps an up-to-date hazardous materials register listing all hazardous materials, storage requirements and precautions, locations, physical properties of the materials where they're being used, approved disposal methods, and safety data sheet. The tires on our vehicles need regular attention to prevent tire failures or explosion from overheating. Our specially trained tire handlers ensure that safety cages and restraints are used when inflating tires, in case the tire bursts. Only after proper inspection are the tires ready to be fitted. The traffic management plan governs proper traffic control, including signage, speed limits, and right-of-way rules. It ensures the safety of people walking around the site as well as smooth vehicle-pedestrian interactions. The color-coded red and green beacons make it clear which side of the vehicle is safe to pass. Where equipment poses a risk to the safety of our personnel, we use guarding as a control measure. This includes guards to cover the fast-moving belts, fail-safe devices on all manually operated equipment and power tools, and reinforced roll cages on all underground passenger vehicles. We have strict procedures in place for any lifting operation to be carried out. First, a pre-lift assessment must take place, ensuring that the weight of the cargo is within the safe workload limits. When lifting personnel with cranes, only approved man cages are used. Cranes are inspected regularly and are certified with color-coded labels. Our qualified personnel rigorously test the atmosphere of an enclosed or partially enclosed space using special gas monitoring equipment, as these spaces are not designed primarily for human occupancy and can pose all sorts of health risks for people required to enter. Once it is confirmed safe, maintenance or inspection works can be carried out. The substations distribute electricity and they are equipped with fire detection and suppression systems. Access to the substations is restricted and controlled. Only trained and authorized persons are allowed to do high voltage switching. The substation has been fitted with automatic fire detection and suppression systems.
Mining is a hazardous activity, so anything can go wrong at any time. Circumstances can change any moment. So what we do, instead of waiting for something to go wrong, we preempt, identify things that we need to check for. For example, inspections. We don't wait for something to fall down. We have scheduled inspections, just check and ensure that it's in good working condition.
There's a lot of risks and a lot of hazards associated with mining. For example, if you look behind me in the background, there's hazards with rotating equipment, there's hazards with conveyor belts, there's hazards with equipment, with operating large earth-moving equipment and interactions with people.
Underground mines are at risk of rockfall and possible inrush through ground failure. Therefore, careful designing and planning of the geotechnical environment is vital to make sure the structures are stable and support the smooth running of the underground mining activities. No one can work under unsupported ground. One of the most dangerous aspects of mining is the use of explosives for blasting. So with this major potential hazard on the mine site, we need to make sure the explosives are properly marked and safely stored, as well as following a formal drill and blast design plan. Our risk assessments have identified hazards such as fires and accidental initiation, and the control measures are regularly audited for effectiveness. It's really vital that our mobile equipment is designed with safety in mind. All mobile equipment operators must understand the complex workings of these specialized pieces of mining apparatus. Additionally, we have processes in place for the safe towing, recovery, loading, unloading, and refueling of the mobile equipment.
We like to take a very inclusive and collaborative approach to operations, so we believe that the best ideas actually come from those who are doing the work. So as a management team, we just facilitate that discussion and provide sort of direction and guidance, but we get the key components of the various things we do come from the shop floor. The contractors and employees play the most important role in creating a safe work environment because they are the ones who are actually doing the work. They are the ones who, if they don't do the work correctly, will get hurt. So it's important that as management we give them the resources and the tools that they need and the training so that they can do their work safely and go home at the end of the day safe.
We're celebrating a very significant achievement for the mine just this week, and it's measured by what's called lost time accident free days. So a lost time accident is an accident when the individual gets hurt, they can't come to work the next day.
Our last lost time accident at Lubambe was on the 25th of November 2018, and that was the 7th lost time accident we had in 2018. And we've all tried to work together to say we have to be safer. And on the 25th of May, you achieved 180 days or 3.9 million man-hours work. And that is an absolutely spectacular result, and I all want you to congratulate yourselves. So. And I've been involved with hundreds of mines around the world, and any mine, and especially any underground mine, would be very, very proud of that record. So please give a congratulations to your workmate next to you. Well done.
In mining, one thing we all strive for is to have no fatalities. I mean, that's like the most important things for us. And at Lubambe, we've had a great record. I mean, in the history of the mine, since it was construction started in 2010, there has never been a fatality, which for any mine in the world is a great record.
Where we're going to recognize and award individuals that in the past 1 month have made significant contributions towards our objective of high productivity and working safely.
The one thing about safety is you never beat safety. If you have a good day today, it's no guarantee that you'll have a good day tomorrow.
So what I want us to do is go on a continuous improvement program. I mean, safety, the journey never ends. You have to work hard every day to ensure we don't have an accident. So it's about everyone actually being aware of their surrounds, understanding risk, and working hard to be safe.